So hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video we are going to get the Squall printed up. It's going to be all in one video. So yeah, before we do that we have to build a paint booth in the shop we have upstairs. I bought a bunch of insulation and we still have some cardboard, and we just have to build something that keeps warm or keeps a steady temperature and is semi-permanent. So that's the goal, because yeah. At first, we had a flame out last flight. I actually wanted to get like 6 or 10 flights on this thing, and yeah, last flight went out. I took off and it flamed out like right after takeoff, and my goal was just to I glided straight and then gear up immediately and tried pulling it as much as I can, and then I was like vertical, and then it just dropped onto the vector and bounced down, and I can show you the damage. And basically the tank kind of weighted and just dropped down here where the batteries were. We've gotten some damage right there. The vector is good again. We already took that out, and this was totally this shape, it was totally oval and everything. This is the front gear is the only gear that couldn't retract. I think the motor's broken, but all the other gears perfectly retracted. This thing is definitely going into rubbish. Tank mount stripped. The tank bursted right here. Tank mount here bursted. The back plate of the vector broke totally. The rods, they just bent a bit, but that's no biggie. Honestly, the biggest thing I don't know how to fix is this portion, because I don't want to take the 3D part off because it's in with the fiberglass, but it's kind of totally smashed right here all the way around. So I'm not quite sure about that yet. Turbine doesn't have anything, it's out. So what happened, the telemetry cable disconnected because it was a little too tight. But if we go on the bottom here with the servos in, as you can see, this is ripped open right here, and yeah, this here is just the covering. This is one plank, and these are 2 planks if you watch the build video. So yeah, same on this side. I think on this side isn't that bad. We only have a little crack here, and there's one rip down there, and then here we've gotten kind of this section here that's ripped open. So some damage done, and yeah, we'll just CA that back down from the inside, and then get the ribs done again and just insert some balsa from the inside. But first, before we get to any of that, this will probably be like an hour-long video, I guess, because I don't want to do it in 2 parts, because yeah, I don't know, or maybe we'll do 2 parts, maybe, but I don't really think so, because you already saw me paint this thing one time. Just now we're painting it even better. And yeah, let's look at the materials that we bought for the shed. So let's go. So guys, this is what we got. Just some foam, insulation foam. This is a bit for sanding, some hot glue, and this is so I can sand with the sander, yeah, around edges and everything. I'll get that up and show you what the shop looks like currently. So guys, this is the paint booth. We obviously had the cardboard here, but this all got wet and just deformed, and this was like not even semi-permanent. The goal is to create a similar space again with the cardboard, with the foam, just a little more semi-permanent than before. And yeah, I'm gonna throw these on so it's a little warm in here, and then we'll slowly get started. My main concern, like before, is this here. I have no idea what I want to do with the store. The store is absolutely horrific. So we got to see what we're going to do here. If I can, I'll most likely just get some foam in here, honestly. Here where this cardboard used to be. And then do that up somehow, but we'll see. So I'll do some check-up videos, but not a lot. So let's get to work. Let's go. So guys, the little check-up. This is how it's going. This is not taped yet, just glued. Yeah, this wall is built. I this wall. I put together this entire panel on the floor here. That's why there's marks of me stepping on it. This was the hardest, because this door has to slide somehow. You guys can see, this is just a piece for isolation. This piece goes up in front of the door, and this here is a strip of tape here. And then you cannot really open this with one hand, but 1 second, it's hung up. Yeah, just fully press back, and then you carry whatever in here. And as you guys can see, it's dark out. And yeah, quick update. Maybe I'll cut this off, something, I don't know. But yeah, this is working out good. As soon as you want it, I don't know, this isn't working with one hand. So yeah, as you can see, the door is a bit stuck, and then you press this against here, and then we're in the worm. I think I'll just put some cardboard still up in here to make that a little better. Currently I'm working on getting this over here. And yeah, maybe I'll do up top a bit of stuff as well, but it just has to be warm really in this area here. I'll tape off this, get this done, because this is still cold right here, pretty much around, because those are all the places where it gets cold. So, and then we are basically finished, so let's continue. So guys, initially got everything out of the plane now. Yeah, as you can see, we've gotten cracks everywhere, and the paint came with, probably was cracked underneath already, and then just came with on here. And I also didn't properly sand the fiberglass below. I didn't know you have to sand the fiberglass before. I mean, honestly, it's kind of logical now if I think about it, but yeah, I didn't know. So that's what that is. So I'll have to sand down as much as I can anyway, which will fill all the remaining holes. And yeah, getting these stickers off, honestly, is a pain in the ass. But what I just ended up doing is I used, this is just a like precise cutting knife with a few different bits. Let me find the bits so you can see. So we've gotten this knife and my bits lying around somewhere. So yeah, the funny thing is my father used this thing to make the thrust vectoring round again. Yeah, quite interesting. But other than that, everything's out of the plane now. As you can see, I don't know where we left off, but everything's out of the plane. 2 servos there, and everything's out. So with this piece, it's almost like a plane, and just have to change perspectives a little. I don't know if this is gonna work with one hand, but I go like this, kind of, and just slowly, it won't work so well with one hand, but I slowly get underneath the sticker, like that, all along the edge, and then I'll just start peeling it off slowly. So I mean, if you have a bigger plane, you honestly could just maybe do this for the entire sticker, but I think then the paint job would go completely off if you do it with a bigger plane. But I'll just start off like this slowly and go in a bit further. Usually I'll hold it and it will be more precise, but then I can go ahead and usually very carefully go ahead peeling off the entire sticker. So I'll still do this, and then we have to get to fixing this. So yeah, let's go back to time lapse, and afterwards I'll report back on how I fixed this. So let's go. Initial fixing on the hood here is done. So the front piece here, I opened up with the flat screwdriver first, just in between to get all the dirt out, because there was quite a bit of dirt. Still is a little, but I couldn't get that out, but there was quite a bit in there. And then I just went ahead, sanded everything with a very, very big 40 grit piece, just to get everything around the area where I want to glue off. And then I took the CA from Tom. I had the top very, very thin, and just thinly put some CA in here. And there will be another piece of cloth going over there, fiberglass cloth. But before putting fiberglass cloth, I'll mix up some thick aero epoxy that will fill all of these holes. And that's just so this could never pop open when we're flying a bit faster. And yeah, just to protect it. And yeah, as soon as there's fiberglass over there, that's going to be all good. It's more about this edge. The one I'm worried about the most is kind of this little guy right there. And this guy will pop open. The rest I don't really mind. And yeah, just put some aero epoxy here, which will be sanded later on, and that will be amazing. And then later on, I went ahead, just used a piece that I still had somewhere. This was not matching or anything, and then I made it matching from the length, and then glued it in, and then just dremeled this down to make it match. And there's a 2mm piece of balsa from the original balsa sheeting. So that's done, and now this has to get sanded up top. We'll do that with I'll have to build still a sanding tool. I want to get that done, and now I'm gonna go ahead and repair this. And then all this has to be sanded, and we'll also put some pieces of cloth down here with some thick aero epoxy before to make this a little smoother. So let's get to it now. So guys, everything's fixed in here as well, except for this. I had to add the rib I added back, and back there I did a bit of new ribs because they were broken out and they need some new support. Everything else, balsa wood got glued back together. So this was done with super thin CA, all of this, because it's the wood goes together nicely with thin CA. And generally, if this happens to any plane where I have this in the skin of the plane, I have a crack or anything, you generally want to use CA. Also, except if it's a plane with vinyl or a foam aircraft, but with everything else with fiberglass, carbon fibers, Eric sand, which you want to use for the skin, some CA. Out of the reason because the CA goes ahead and makes any dry fibers wet again and bonds the fibers with each other again. And in the wood, CA just works the best with wood. So the very thin CA, so that's that reason. Here I had to scrape this a bit because the 3D part was cracked right here, so I just scraped that up with the knife a bit. And then in the back here, so I first reconnected where the old connection was, which was one with this rib underneath here, and this is then just doubled up with 2 popsicle sticks to make this super strong again. And there's no play in that anymore, and this is going to be way more than strong enough again for the new tank, or the tank again. And yeah, and the rest basically was the balsa that cracked or ripped open, because what happened, the tank kind of, the impact was so bad that the zip ties ripped. They ripped the zip ties. There were some pretty strong zip ties, and then it slammed on the bottom here, and this whole part ripped out and just took these pieces with it at the end of the day. So yeah, let's go up in the shed, which is going to be my future, my dirty work shed, my everything shed basically. So I wanna, first this has to get sanded, so I still have to build myself some sponge or something we can put underneath here, which adapts to my sander. So I'm going to do that next, and then we're going to get this all sanded, and then we're going to put a piece of fiberglass about from here up until right here. This is no worries, we can spackle that, and that's nothing structural, just so this is joined as one again. And yeah, before we do that, we will obviously we'll sand first, but before the main cloth goes on, we'll put a fillet of thick epoxy with micro balloons all in these bad areas, so we have less sanding work later, and just to add some extra support on these areas. And yeah, same thing for this part. And then tomorrow in the morning, I'll let it dry until noon. That will be enough, and in the morning I'll go ahead and remove the stickers from the wings, and we'll get started on those. So yeah, let's get to work. So guys, everything has been sanded. Was way quicker with the sanding machine. Way quicker. Using the round ones, they're just better. My pad attachment here doesn't quite work yet, and I'm sure you can buy something like this on Amazon. I have no idea honestly, but anyways, because I CA'd this to there, that's why this doesn't work. I have to use some different glue, but because I CA'd this is hard, obviously, was stupid, and the pad always comes off because it's CA'd. Other than that, first started with 40 grit, very rough paper, to get all the chips off that were not holding properly, and then I went with some, I think it was 80 grit over, just to make everything a bit smoother here. And yeah, that worked out well. My door came down midway, the actual door, not this one. This one is because the duct tape didn't really hold. But my actual door came down midway, which was not that fun. Yeah, another thing is, which was very stupid, is that I didn't prep this off before. So I really recommend prepping off the inside of your plane with something, just stuffing stuff in there before doing any sanding work, even if the plane is brand new and nothing has been in it before, and it's, let's say, a new finished after fiberglassing. While it's still in the wood form, you can still sand the wood and everything, doesn't matter. But as soon as you're after fiberglassing, you're sanding everything else and spraying over again. I really recommend gluing this off, otherwise you have ugly residue everywhere in areas where you can't reach, in the corners. So yeah, just do that, and you'll maybe also save some weight, I don't know. But yeah, everything done, even this one. I ran out of battery, otherwise I would have done the entire thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat now, and then we'll lay out a bit of plastic for the fiberglass. We'll cut our fiberglass, probably. I don't know if I want to go all the way to the front, but then we'll do our 90mm epoxy first. It's basically 24-hour epoxy to fill all the rough spots, things like this, and like here, this area is especially where the crack was, along the crack, things like here, and here. There was a crack there, and just little pinholes. Same here, especially this is the probably biggest area, and a bit of, this doesn't really need anything, it's nice and smooth. And then we're ready for fiberglassing, so let's go. So guys, everything ready. Got this cloth cut out right here, and got the pieces of cloth there, and we've got our epoxy. So yeah, let's go. The piece of plastic is not to save the table, just so in case there's epoxy dripping down, so I don't glue the part to the table. Same with the scale. So let's get going like planned. First 90mm epoxy session, still have to make some circles where I want to put it, and then the 24-hour epoxy. So let's go. So guys, we've gotten everything. I mean, not everything's on the video because Tom called me, but yeah, we've gotten everything fiberglass. I don't know if you can properly, so I used a bit of epoxy. I want to see if this is better. I mean, I checked for bubbles like this. Obviously it's more prone to bubbles, but I think this is just a bit of epoxy, what you can see here. And I think if we just sand this epoxy a good amount then afterwards, that will have a good surface to start with, and we don't have too much trouble from the beginning. But there's a bit much epoxy here, so maybe I'll go ahead and reduce it a little. Also here through the camera you can see it the most. That's just epoxy swimming, so maybe I'll go over a bit. Yeah, anyway, okay, anyway, obviously you can see the other epoxy underneath here. Here, for example, and gotten it up front here. I mean, obviously fiberglass only going until here. We've gotten it in a few areas. A lot is here, and there's a bit, and yeah, quite a bit in here, and the most is front to up front in here, just to get this sealed and on the other side. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, first I'll get this padded down with some toilet paper to make it look a bit more beautiful, and then hopefully tomorrow this will be looking good. So guys, next day I came in here today and everything was turned off. Yeah, I don't quite know why. I think because it was snowing outside, I think there was somewhere short circuit, and the circuit switched off for safety. So this was completely tacky this morning. That's because it was like maybe 0 degrees in here when I came in here, and yeah, the epoxy can't dry it at 0 degrees. So now it's an hour later and it's already a lot less tacky. Before that I could not go over this without it tacking to my hand, so it's better now since we've gone ahead and turned on the heaters. So yeah, slowly getting warm in here, and hopefully we can work on this, but until then we have to downstairs work, get the wings all stripped on the bottom, and we'll get the servo out for now. And those aren't that bad. Those, we just do what we originally planned on here before I had a crash landing, and we're just gonna sand those and put some primer on it. Some gray primer is the plan, and yeah, then that will look good hopefully, and we have to properly fit everything and make sure everything looks nice this time. So yeah, and in the worst case scenario, if the carbon doesn't, if I can't manage to get the carbon looking nice, we'll just paint that black. So that's the plan for that. So yeah, let's get to it. So guys, wings are all prepped. This wing, the paint came off, on this one it didn't. So yeah, got everything off, everything out. Got these out with the soldering iron, just stuck that in there. Yeah, quite a bit of work to do. I mean, if I don't know, I think on this plane I might have messed up the carbon look on some areas a lot. So worst case scenario, we'll just paint that black, matte black. So yeah, anyways, let's take this up. If the fiberglass isn't properly cured yet, I'll put the fuselage inside. But I mean, here in these areas where this happened, as you can see, there's a light crack here, but it's gonna be impossible for me to get in there to fix that. As you can see right here, and the same is here. It isn't very bad. Probably this is just goes on the edge. This came up a bit, this came up completely. Same here, the wood came up from the other wood, and here I can't see anything, but yeah, we're gonna shove stuff in here so we don't paint in here anymore, and yeah, we can go ahead and continue. So let's get going. Guys, quick update. Well, let me take the mask off. Right here, so wing has been sanded. These have been sanded. So where's the one? Where's the one? So this is the one where the where I didn't mix up the epoxy properly, and I managed to fully pull off the carbon off of there. So yeah, that's that. On the other one, it's just not properly on the edges, and there I can just save that with some CA. Not that terrible, but yeah, have to put some new carbon on this one. Got done sanding this one, fairly smooth everywhere. I think I did 80 grit. This aileron is looking pretty smooth. This one's all right, so have to get this sanded, and I think I'll use some fiberglass spackle for these holes, because it's not big areas where I care about the weight all too much. So yeah, let's continue. So at the end of the day today, I want to have basically this set maybe finished. So let's get going, at least on this side, on the underside. So let's and where's my servo lid? Here. So I'm sanding these with this now, just so I get these spaced out properly and fit better. So yeah, and also you can see this has a different color like this, because these weren't done together. So yep, let's continue, let's go. So guys, first day of the week, did a bit of organizing. So from now on, I think we have about 20 days left to the event. maybe something like, or yeah, maybe no, 2 weeks I think from now. And yesterday still got this far. These are almost finished, so we're gonna go with using this spackle. It's a bit heavier. It's quite a substantial amount heavier, but it dries quicker and it's faster for the finish. So you can get things like this filled with the paint just ripped off. First it has to get sanded again. We stocked up, got our spray filler and then our primer for the paint. We still got a bit of our orange left, got some more sanding blocks, so we're good to go. Yeah, fuselage is in. It's dried now after being a day in the warmth, like right on the heater, because it was literally in the time period where it should dry. It was in the freezing cold weather, and yeah, because the electricity here in this thing shorted somehow. But we fixed it now, and this has been running in the quite a while now already, and nothing has happened, so I'm positive everything will work out. So yeah, more sanding to do like always. I think I'll start with the fuse and the hood there, so let's get going. So guys, quick update, take my mask off. So fuselage on the bottom has been spackled, so spackle's on. So it has been sanded fully and now spackle's on to get everything filled as much as possible, so it saves time on having to wait on stuff to dry. Wings also spackle everywhere. I think these are ready for main primer. This thing has to get sanded one more time and then we'll see for spackle. And these have been spackled, so I think I'll sand this one, spackle it, and then I'll start sanding with this one because this is what I did first, then then that, because I mean I didn't apply anything very thick anywhere because this is the key, thin layers, so that you have, so because then it dries in like 30 minutes and it's not that much work to sand, because you don't want like clumps literally here. That would be terrible. I just used this as template, and some more time lapse now for you. Before I didn't do any time lapse. Yeah, because I need my phone for something. But yeah, let's get going. So guys, next day, yesterday we ended up with finishing painting gray the wings, ailerons. This got painted in the last can of spray filler, and there's filler added. And yeah, the only issue is there's no spray filler anymore, and I was at the shop today and they're out right now. And we do not really have time to wait until they restock. And there's still, as you can see, these areas. This is the reason why I like using the spray filler, because it gets rid of stuff like this, where it goes from spackle to back to the wood and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to sand this nicely and hope that through of sanding work and 1 or 2 layers of this stuff I can get most of this out. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead, sand, and then we'll go ahead and spray another layer over here. So let's get going. I think I'll quit on the time lapse a little for now because the video is already long. So let's continue. So guys, so it's 8 in the evening and it's looking good. So all the surfaces down on the bottom side are basically done. Just a few little spot touch-ups here, and this we've gone quicker with the other primer or the other spray filler, but whatever now. So yeah, anyway, masking is off here already, and I'm gonna start scraping off stickers here, start sanding here. One of these here have to be cleaned and new carbon applied, and this has to be sanded, and the last bit, there's about half a can left, sprayed to make this nice, and then take the masking off here and also start with the stickers. So my goal is today to at least have the stickers off everywhere on the top side and have this one done. So yeah, let's get going. So guys, got about one side done, and I mean there's spots like this and like this. I think I'm just gonna filler those, and then later on we're gonna use glossy black and spray a cool design on here. I don't know what it's gonna be like, maybe like here, like some, I have no idea yet. But we'll spray some cool design on there to cover our oopsies, and the rest will be carbon, and we'll also put a shark mouth up front. And yeah, the wings will be carbon anyways, all the wings, because those are still amazing and look good. But I mean, you'll need some sort of design, or maybe we'll like cut the section off here or something. I have no idea yet. And like, yeah, maybe cut the section off and then around the rudder. I have no idea, but we'll see. So let's get back into it. Let's go. So guys, didn't get like even at all as far as I wanted to. This took a shit ton of time doing the entire fuselage, sanding that, and honestly here there were just too many little areas where holes came in because there were little bubbles. So yeah, I thought about having like some area on the fuselage exposed carbon, but that just wasn't making any sense. So yeah, just got spackle over here. This will keep me busy until the spackle I'll apply tomorrow dries. First thing in the morning tomorrow, because my parents want me to go to sleep now. I'll probably, as soon as I get home from school, do this up with carbon. So, because tomorrow is Thursday and I have school on Friday, so that we can start prepping this on Friday in the morning, and wing will be visible carbon. And the plan right now is, well, so to kind of follow this line right here, which will go up here and make this section black, and the overlap will be like, it will look cool, the overlap. And we'll do the same for the rudder. The overlap will be on this piece, and yeah, and then it won't be a fade, it will be like almost like lightning bolts, something like that. So yeah, will be cool. But yeah, fuselage, that it wouldn't have worked, and this has to be done, and at the end of the week I want to be finished with all the painting. So yeah, let's continue tomorrow. So let's go. So guys, every spot I found, or at least, I mean, what I did is I just went over the entire airplane with spackle, sanded that all down. So the rough sand I did with the sander, and the rest I did per hand afterwards, just to smooth everything out nicely. And yeah, I took a bit longer because I always kept on filling a few little spots, especially here because there was like a huge air bubble underneath here, because I tried flipping it over originally. Same thing here. So I had to soak all of this fiber in CA basically to get it hard in some way, and then sand it and add filler and and also seal the wood with CA. So that was quite a bit of work. Wings have already been sanded. Obviously this here is what I'm talking about. So this has to be sanded. I'm just gonna sand the edges where this is, and then put CA here, so this is hard, and then I'll sand, then I'll add filler. So yeah, but wings are looking pretty good. Have to add filler here. I'll do that as soon as I've mixed up filler for some other things. This obviously I want to get this done today, so today I want to get all of this, everything that will be painted with paint will be looking like this today. So that's my goal, and then today evening we will be still taking this off. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. We're sanding it a little, the rudder, and then adding the see-through putty, which is basically, it's an epoxy, but it's a filler epoxy or a coating epoxy, which is easy to sand, UV resistant and stuff like that. So, and it bonds very well to epoxy, because epoxy over epoxy doesn't bond very well, but that stuff bonds very well over each other. So yeah, enough talking. This video is long enough. I think the next time you'll be seeing all this, okay, maybe I'll make one more video before everything gets gray. So let's get going. So guys, it's all done here. We aren't perfectly finished on the finish because of this thing, because I just found this. It's a crack. We'll have to Dremel this up and fill it with epoxy. And yeah, but it's down here so we can get the carbon accents done. But other than that, it's honestly looking very good. All of the surfaces. This one is not really there yet. But yeah, X130 arrived yesterday. No, today, and working on it already. Just gonna do up a few things, because this is for a new thing we're working on, which is supposed to be a a building service. So I'm going to be doing a building service for whoever wants their plane build finish, and this is just a prototype, and I'm looking at the canards and how the hell I can make this stronger, because this is not strong enough at all, and we have to change that in the future. But yeah, anyway, back to Squall. Basically almost finished. I mean, I want to do this so I can do some fitting tomorrow with wings, etc. Canopy, get this done up. Then we can do tomorrow the last few things of spackle, and then we're good to go. So yeah, let's get going. So guys, I dremeled this out. So as you can see, the crack goes about until here. So I'll fill this with a thick epoxy. So that's what we'll do first, the thick epoxy. I'm also going to do a few parts of the X with the thick epoxy, like the wings for example. Just a few spots to nice that up. So I'll probably use all the 90mm epoxy for that. Then I'll go in with the second round, do all the carbon work with the normal resin, and then I'll do the coating resin, which is basically just a finishing resin, and do the rest. And before that I'll wipe it down with some 99% alcohol basically. So yeah, stoked, and let's get going. So guys, back up here, got everything fitted, got this fixed, and there's just spackle on here. There was a fairly big gap here, and here there was a gap. So the rest, I don't have any spackle anymore, and the rest is not that bad. So yeah, probably no, I think this is gonna be the last time before paint this thing is up here. So yeah, kind of excited. Obviously we still gotta work on this guy, so I'll get that sanded now. We have to get these sanded. Yeah, we have to get wings sanded, etc. So yep, let's continue. So guys, we've got a beautiful fit on this wing, same on this one, but I just did a light layer of primer here. Now I'm going to do the second one as soon as that can is hot, so I can see where to add a little bit of spackle here, so we can get that spot all cleaned up. So yeah, everything else is coming down again with me to get final layers of epoxy, for example, on a few spaces. So we'll do the front now, and then we have one or two little spots that need some epoxy still over here. then tomorrow this will all be sanded. The edges will be matte black, will be painted black, so we'll have like a black fade. And yeah, it will be looking cool. So let's get going. So all parts are basically ready for paint. There's still a little few things to do before paint, but all carbon parts. This one isn't. This one is a new aileron. This one I don't really care about the small dots anymore. And just gonna glue this off here, add spackle here, and then that's gonna be done as well. Just apply some more spackle here. Okay, get that sanded, and then this is ready for paint also. But we still have some more tomorrow. Sand this here, and we'll have to get this covered with epoxy today. So let's get done. So next clip you'll probably see is tomorrow. This thing completely finished for paint. So let's go. So guys, you don't even know how excited I am. Look how amazing this looks. I can almost I can see my reflection in this thing. Yeah, this looks phenomenal. And it's dried already, so yeah, this side has a few more little things. You can see the carbon a little through. You look exactly right there. But this is phenomenal. Absolutely stunning, this paint job. I'm so happy. I'm honestly so happy. Obviously this up here isn't that good, but we'll take care of that still a bit. But you guys don't even know how happy I am. This looks absolutely amazing. Like, this just looks amazing. So yeah, let's get the other surfaces done as well. So guys, quick little update. Fuselage is fully painted and looking gorgeous. I don't know if I showed you this yet, but yeah, rudder is not being carbon anymore. Honestly, just too much work and I don't have the time for it. So that's on that. The actual surface is almost done. That is currently primed. Has to be wet sand with 320 paper, then primed and wet sand with 800 paper. The wings have gotten a fully satin finish. Obviously the underground is not perfect yet, like you can see here and there, but the finish looks absolutely amazing. Same on the ailerons. So very happy, very happy. So yeah, next thing to do is getting the underside ready for paint and then paint it orange again. So let's get to that now. So guys, I know this video is getting very long, but I do not just want to have basically one clip and then the plane is suddenly finished. But yeah, this is all painted matte, looking amazing. Honestly, there's a bit of dust on it, but this finish, I love it. And then we do have everything else ready for wet sanding. So this color difference is because I ran out of primer and I ended up using the metal primer, which actually worked quite well. So yeah, everything else ready for wet sanding. This obviously is the rudder, but everything ready for wet sanding. Did one or two things that I spackled yesterday evening. Only thing not ready for wet sanding is the fuse. So I think I'm gonna get, before I start wet sanding here, get those little things that have to be done here filled. So let's get that done now. So guys, I'm gonna probably let all of this dry for another like 1.5 hours or 2 hours. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously it could be a billion times better, but the wings are all right. The ailerons, yeah, whatever. These really, I mean, this one's bad. This one's all right. The intake on the bottom is beautiful, spotless almost. The fuselage is also pretty good. I didn't have a full can anymore, so there is a bit of tiger skin going on. Like right here, there's a bit of difference in the, I don't know, a difference in the paint. There are like some darker spots. But that's all good. But yeah, obviously, I don't know. I honestly don't know why this came out like this. I had more than enough. Honestly, not more than enough time. I think what was more thing is I wanted to do the carbon up top, visible carbon. So The bottom stuff I managed to do in like a day and a half. I managed to get that ready, but then I managed to bump it and scratch it here and there, so I wasn't very careful. While I was trying to get the carbon fixed up top, I spent so much time trying to get the carbon fixed, which at the end of the time was just wasted time. And now since Friday, today is Sunday, I just really quickly had to get the top finished, because next week is going to be a tight stretch. I think Thursday evening I'm going to drive to Tom. So yeah, probably going to fly Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, do 1 or 2 flights, and then we'll have to see and get this thing to Dubai. So yep, let's get going with the stickers, which will just be time-lapse. Obviously I've gotten all the stickers right here, so you guys can see, and we just have to apply them now, like I'm pretty sure we did that in the previous video you got. So just a bit of context. So the previous video I decided not to post the second video because I'll make a bit more detailed one, because that would have been 15 minutes only and not very detailed. And I guess I'm going to have this was a bit more detailed on painting this thing and stuff like that. And yeah, so I'm going to just make a more detailed video about the install, all of it one video, because I have the back end already made a fairly detailed video. So I'm just going to have all in a time lapse, and then for after like engine stuff we will have a bit more detailed everything. So yeah, time lapse, and it's time for this stuff. Honestly guys, even though this isn't perfection, if you step like a meter away or half a meter, it looks really good, and just have to be quiet a little. Honestly, we didn't get a new canopy done yet. This is still the old one. I think we'll keep that. But yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. The satin black has a really nice touch on this. It's like a nice stealth fighter. I'm really liking this. So yep, I'll get the X130 away from the table. I'll get this rolled out, get this wiped down, and we'll see where we start. So let's get going. So guys, finally got everything done. That was a shit ton of work, but looking good. I didn't end up using the stars, and this time I put the uni light in a different direction, because now imagine me coming onto us while hovering, you can read the uni light nicely now. The rest is here because I still have to create a new door, because the old door, I'm not even gonna try rescue that one. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, because this thing definitely saw better times. So yeah, this is because I tried sanding with the machine, but the machine created so much friction that all this heated up and the paint and everything just started melting, and it, like, as you can see, melted sideways. But yeah, this was broken anyway. But yeah, very happy. Probably gonna end the video there. So guys, now we are complete. We've got Tomjet sticker on here. I honestly really love stickers like that on the matte black. I love this satin matte black finish. That it just looks amazing. I'm really digging it. We've for some reason gotten a glossy spot here. I have no idea how this happened, but I'll get this masked off, and then we will get a shot of matte over there, because with matte paint I can literally go ahead and just touch up a spot and it won't be an issue. With glossy paint it's more of an issue. So let's get going. So guys, we're gonna end the video here on that note. So don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. Sorry, this video is coming out a bit late, just because it's very busy, and yeah, we're just at Uni to get some more goodies for this plane. I know there is quite a bit on it already, but there's never now, you know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button if you liked it. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so please make that happen, and I'll see you guys in the next one.